righty. Hello, everyone. This is TNT Tuesday Night Talk. This is where we take flight and soar. We speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. This is where we My apologies. Something again is going wrong here. Here we go. Sorry about that. I just went totally just clunked out. Anyway, let me make sure. Okay, I'm back. I think I had problems last week, so we're gonna work this little stuff out here. Anyway, I'm back, and my name is Annette L. Anderson, and this is TNT Tuesday Night Talk. There's no one on yet, so when you guys come on, I would like you to subscribe, like, and share. In fact, I'm going to share myself. Um, okay, so let me give me a minute here. Okay. I'm here. Hey, all right, there we go. So I'm gonna share uh to a couple of people here. So give me a second. If you would, when you come on, please share. Okay, there we go. I'm sharing to a few people. All righty. All right. All righty, there we go. There we go. Hey, Whitney, how you doing? All right, there we go. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm trying to. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to get everything up and running. It just decided it did not want to have me on here tonight. Who knows why? So, hold on one second. Well, I just love technology. There we go. All righty, all right. Thank y'all. Hey, Sharon. I'm so appreciative that you guys come on. I know I have y'all, if nobody else. I appreciate everybody coming on. Okay, and all righty. Okay, great, 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 great. Um, I was on social media a little earlier. I'm always browsing social media. We just have to be prayerful. Things are happening, and this is called LIFE life. It's odd that we are surprised when things happen because the Bible talks about it, but we're still surprised. So people who have committed suicide, some other things that's going on. Other colleges across this country where people calling in and talking about blowing up colleges. At Cookman, it happened. That some things went on in the college and delaying. So it's so much going on. So we just need to be prayerful, y'all, because things happen and we don't always understand. And some things I guess we never will. But when I was looking at that, I'm like, where did that come from all of a sudden? We're attacking colleges. Really? Um, People are marching about this and they don't like that and they don't like this. But I often think about if some of those countries, man, if we lived in some of those countries, some of this foolishness that we do, they would not tolerate it. So we are blessed to be in this country. And some of these um, things they're marching about, you'd be like, really? Come on now. But everybody has their right. So that's enough said about that. But again, I want to thank you, Wendy and Sharon, for coming on. I appreciate you guys, and that you would come on and support me. In fact, I got to get on my kids. I be hitting them up and they don't come on. Some I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a little sit down with them tomorrow, uh, because I know they saw me hit them up. Now, of course, one of my daughters, she go to bed about 8:30, so maybe she didn't. But anyway, so let me give it just a little spiel, and then I'll go into what I want to talk about on tonight. You guys know, well, Wendy, Sharon, you know, I talk about motivation and encouraging people and pushing people to help push people to their destiny and people believing in themselves and hey Barbara and people trusting that they well some people trust and some don't that they're capable of doing some things. And so when I come on Tuesday nights, one of my jobs is to really tell you that you have what it takes. What I found in my own personal life is that I I never had nobody to kind of push me to where I was going, and I guess because I didn't even know where I was going actually, so I guess nobody could push me. But I want to encourage you ladies that's on here so far. I want to encourage you to let you know that regardless of how you may see yourself, that's not how God sees you. How you may figure that you can't do it or you don't have what it takes, that's not biblically sound. Because you know when he made us and he said he stepped by, he looked at us and he said he's good and very good and we made in his image. So we can do more than we think we can do. I think as time progress, y'all, sometimes we begin, especially when we start getting older. Well, I'm older now. When I should have done when I was younger. Well, maybe you didn't have what it took when you were younger. Because I know I didn't. I didn't have what it took when I was young because I was struggling with my own self-image. I was trying to figure out who I was. I was trying to determine what I was called to do. You know, I was just more than just, on here, and I was just more than somebody's mama, a sister, a cousin, or whatever the case may be. So I had my own personal struggles when I was coming up. So sometimes when we look at ourselves, I think we look at ourselves wrong. We look at ourselves wrong. I think we need to stop, and just stop and take a minute and just start to look at yourself for who you are, really are, and stop looking at the negativity. Because the first thing we do when we look in the mirror, we start picking out all the things that's wrong. Girl, you need to lose that stomach. Girl, you need to lose some thighs. We look at stuff that at the end of the day, it's important, but it's not that important. So we start always picking ourselves apart. We're our own worst enemy. So I've learned, over the years I've gained weight, and some areas I want to tone up or whatever the case may be. But I'm learning now how to, when I look in the mirror, to see something positive. To see I see myself as a go-getter. I see myself as capable to do things. I see myself as being strong and stand and be able to stand flat-footed and declare whatever I believe God is saying. So I don't look at the negativity, because if you look at anything long enough, you're going to find something negative about it. But we have to learn how to look at ourselves and say, okay, God, what are you saying? Who do you say I am? And that was what have helped me over the years, because I for a long time I didn't even want to look in the mirror, because God, I need to do this and I need to do that. And I look at my hair, girl, you need to dye your hair, all kinds of stuff that had nothing to do with my destiny. That was my outer appearance. It had nothing to do with my inner, what God has called me to do. And I think so many times we don't focus on that. We focus on the surface. We don't focus on who we've been called to do. And so when I come on Tuesday, I want to encourage you to fulfill that dream. You know, I heard somebody said one day, we was passing the cemetery, and they were talking about all the dead dreams. All the things that, even if they had, maybe some people did start organizations or whatever, but whatever, it's over for them. So those of us that are still here, we have to figure out how to make a difference. Now I know, a lot of us talk, the pandemic. Well, it's just like any other thing. It's not here to stay. And even if it is, then I believe the medical folks going to figure something out. Because I was talking to Leonard, and we were talking about HIV and how years ago people were just dying with that disease. And now I saw a commercial that said, you could take a couple of pills a month and it helped control it. So and so many other diseases. When we were growing up, we had to take shots and stuff, and so many diseases, they got them under control. They may still be here, but they are under control. So we can't allow that to hinder us either, because you can always find something that causes you not to walk in your destiny, causes you not to walk into the things that you've been called to walk in. And what happens with destiny, and what happens is this: there there's some things that you have somebody needs. So whatever you've been blessed with, it's not just for you. I often talk about my grandson, and I talk about him because of course, he's my grandson, but he gifted to sing. But what difference would it make if nobody ever heard him? If you gifted to cook, what difference if does it make if you never cook and cater? You gifted to paint. What difference does it make? Nobody sees your painting. I'm not saying you can't enjoy what you do yourself, but that gift is for somebody else. That gift is to make somebody else smile. That gift is to make somebody else happy. And so that is what we have to understand, and the importance of who you are. And I do understand that, life throw curves, and sometimes things happen that hurt you. And and it may even just knock you down for a moment, but you cannot stay there. You can only wallow so long. You can only cry so many tears. You could be so hurt, but you can only cry so many tears. And so what happens when trauma or disappointment or different things happen in our lives, then even if we start doing what we're supposed to do, then we stop. And I want to encourage my sisters and brothers to keep going. Oh my gosh. People probably would be surprised some of the things. I wish I could get people to come on just to tell me what are some of your dreams. You don't have to come on if you don't want to. Hey, Shatandra, you could just type it in here on the system, and type it in. What is your dream? What is that thing that eludes you? What is that thing that excites you? I mean, if somebody would, if you just tell me, what is that dream that you have? Because never stop dreaming. Some of my greatest dreams is when my eyes were open. It's not when I was asleep. So I'm gonna put my dream. Oh, this is my dream is to start my organization for young women. So my dream is to really get my organization going. So I want to share with y'all. This is my dream. Start my organization for young women. That's one of my dreams that I want to do. So Barbara, Sharon, and Wendy, and Shatandra, if y'all would just tell me one of your dreams. What is that thing that burns on the inside of you? What is that thing that you have really been saying, God, I really want to get started with this. I really need your help to get me to the next level. I would like to know um, what you think, or what you feel, or what you know that you've been called to do. A couple of y'all, I could put. Hey, Leonard, a couple of y'all, I can put it on here myself, but I won't. I want you to come on and do it. Hey, Gloria, how you doing? But these, if you would, Barbara, Sharon, Shatandra, if you would, I mean, it don't have to be nothing. You cannot tell me you don't have a dream. So if you don't have a dream, and I can't believe you don't, but if by chance you don't have a dream, then what you need to do is begin to ask God, what is that passion? A dream is a passion. Now I know, like with my sister, she's walking in part of her dreams, but her dream is more than just to pastor. That's she have. I'm gonna go there with her. She has a love for children. Now she's been taking care of children forever. She loves to cook. If she wanted to, since she ain't putting nothing on here, and went, oh, here she go. Okay, I'm talking trash. To become a full-time pastor and help heal our community. And I'm gonna put this on here. I'm getting ready to say about her. And if she wanted to, She could actually open a restaurant and do extremely well. She could do extremely well if she wanted to. So this is what she said she wanted. This is her dream to become a full-time pastor and help heal our community, which of course is so needed. It's so needed. But if she wanted to, hey, I keep throwing that out, Whitney. Okay. And Leonard said to be all that God's planned for me to be. Yes. Awesome. That is awesome, Leonard. And yeah, because we already know God definitely have given you a street ministry. Oh my gosh, it's just one of the things he do. He do a whole lot of stuff. Let's see. She turned the passion to work with people with mental issues. You know what? Now I'm gonna applaud you for that. I wish I had one of the little bells. Because on Wednesday night we had a little bells, but I don't have a bell. But she has a passion to work with mental people with mental illness. That is, I mean, that is amazing. That's amazing because in every walk of life, we need somebody. Me personally, like Leonard has a street ministry. Oh no. I mean, when we used to go places, I would just sit in the car while he just ministered to people because that's his issue that he deals with those issues. And so and to work with people with mental issues, that's amazing, Shatandra, because we need people. We need people to have compassion. So to do that, you got to have compassion and empathy because they don't operate when people have mental illnesses. They don't operate the same way that we do. And then when to say, when to say no restaurant. Oh, I know you're not gonna open one, but listen now. When I say if you wanted to, you could, because she cooks extremely well. So no, that's not your passion. I just was kind of throwing that out there because I know personally. And Sharon said, my dream is to present the most elegant catering business that will present smiles and the most wonderful tasting food. All right, now also to do what God has called me to do in ministry, which is part of my business. I want to share that with y'all. So that's Sharon's dream. That's her vision. That's her desire. That's that thing that she go. Because listen, I know a person, and so I know we talk a lot about food. In fact, when I used to go to the store with her, we would always go. Like we would go to the store, she go in the pots. I go to rolling my eyes like, oh boy, here we go. We're gonna go look at the pots and plates and all that. But that's her passion. Her passion is to cook and cater. Now also, God has blessed her to. She's an intercessor to her. I mean, she's an intercessor. So but I just wanted you guys to share that with me because sometimes when we can feel it and we can know it, but when you see it typed out or written out, when you say this is who I am, this is what I really want to do, this is what my desire is to do these things, to cater, full-time pastor, work with people in the community, and that is so important, especially in it's still, even though I live in Volusia County, it's still my community, and it's so needed. It's so needed. I know we are so quick to put down a community, but what are you doing? Are you making a difference in that community? Because you can't put down a community if you've never talked with the people in the community. You don't know what their desires are. You don't know why they may act the way they act or do what they do because you have never taken the time to talk with people. And so that is so important. Oh, okay. Shatana, I love this. Shatana said, I also have passion to clean for the elderly for free. Now, see, that's what you talk about giving back. Oh my goodness, I love that, Shatana. I absolutely love that. Oh my God, I never knew. I mean, I know you work in a certain field, but see, that's amazing because there's so many elderly people don't have anybody. All elderly people are not in nursing homes. Some are in their own homes. And to have somebody who would say, hey, I'll come, I'll wash some clothes, I do some dishes, whatever it takes to help that person. Yeah, I love that. Oh my goodness. So you see, even with the people that's on here, on tonight. You see some of the ones that have shared, and there's others that haven't shared. But for those who have shared, it's amazing when you write it down, like the things I wanted to do. And when I started with the organization, when I started writing that thing down, and then I wrote it, and then all of a sudden things start coming together, and that's so important. That's so important. And that's why, come on, I want to encourage you, those things you've written down, hey, start working on it. You know, it may not happen overnight, but it'll never happen at all if you don't start putting in the work. If you don't start doing the things that you need to do. Okay. The things that that's burning on the inside, that desire. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, I said all of that to say this, to be accountable. You know, we know what some of us know what we've been called to do, or want to do, or desire to do, or have a burning desire to do. But then we have to be accountable to that, because it's one thing to want to do it, it's another thing to step out and do it. So there's a certain amount of accountability that we have. And one of the things that I've done, even in my own personal walk, I have a accountability partner. If I don't do something, because Anita's my accountability partner. She may not know that, but she is actually. And so that means that even when I'm very lackadaisical, or if I don't do the things I'm supposed to do, I fall short in error, and then somebody can say, "Hey, are you still working on XYZ? How it's going with that?" It's not like nobody want to get in your business. What they want to do, a real accountability partner, is to encourage you, to push you, even when you get tired. And sometimes another reason it's good to have an accountability partner or partners is because you may be trying to get your stuff together, and you get to a certain point, and you don't know what to do, and then you make a discussion with that person. Hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that? I do it all the time with Sharon. I said, girl, won't you do this here and do it, like, and she most times I think she hear me. I said, won't you, because she's a caterer, but right now with the COVID is, she's not being able to do as much as she want to do with the catering. So, hey, won't you try this? You do recipes, do this, do that. Whether she do it or not, that's up to her. But me as an accountability partner, I'm just encouraging her. And if nothing else, to let her know, hey, wait a minute, I never thought about it like that. Okay, let me give it a shot. Or thank you, and then that's fine, but that may not work for me right now. But in other words, what you're doing is trying to make sure that you let them know there's other ways to do it. There's more than one way. When we started the movement, hey, we had planned this elaborate thing, the symposium, and we was going to be in Daytona. We had so many ideas, and the COVID came, which was a couple of years ago, and so we had to go back to the drawing board, because what we planned was not conducive to what was going on in our community, in our country, actually in the world. Not just us, people across the world was faced with COVID. So we had to go back to the drawing board, and we had to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this? And so we did. And so once we did that, because we had gotten together before, and some things didn't quite work out right. And, I felt some kind of way, because I felt like I dropped the ball. But then a year or two later, like, wait a minute. Okay, God, now I understand. Okay, now the pieces are coming together. Now, things will work out. So that being accountable is to require, expect, to justify action or decision, or to be responsible. And so that's, it's one thing to have, like I said, it's one thing for a vision, but it's another thing when it's time to step out. And one of the things now, for some of the stuff that I've read, you guys already have, I need to say something. Some of the things that you've written, some of y'all are already in a certain field, which is good. And so sometimes when you're in a certain field, you can kind of, go maybe, take the experiences you have had in that particular field. It'll help you in that arena. Anita said, when you write it down, it gets real. And then when you let it out your mouth, it keeps moving. See it, write it, speak it, and do it. That's right, Anita. That is profound. And Sharon said, when it's your passion, sometimes you can't sleep, because it's all that you think about. How to build your business, how to make it grow. That is so true. And so that's that we talk about that fire that shut up in your bone. When you get, it's like, I gotta get this done. I got to get it done. Sometimes I'll lay on the bed. I say, get up because you need to work on, I was working on the logo or some other things. Get up, get this done. Yeah, you have to rest sometime. I'm not saying don't rest. I'm saying that some kind of way figure out how you can get it done. What I've done, and this is me, but I'm not working right now, so of course I can do this. Every day I do something with my organization, whether it's the movement, whether it's gift, whether it's Hey Girl, TNT Tuesday night, whatever. I do something every day in some type of way to at least touch what I'm doing, because I don't want to become complacent. I don't want to come to the point that I go days and don't do anything, and then the last minute just throw stuff together. No, I want things to be in a certain way. So when you're accountable, there's a certain amount of self-awareness. One of the most important parts of being able to hold someone you care for or yourself, to be accountable, to make them self-aware of who they are, and to recognize what they're doing, and to like bring it back to your remembrance. Because what happens sometimes with our visions and our dreams, because we're not actually operating in them, sometimes they get on the back burner, and then we really forget about it, and then we get to the point like, you know what, oh heck, I ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't getting ready to do it anyway. And that's the wrong thing to, even if you're working, it don't matter. You have to figure out some kind of way how I can walk in this dream, this vision, this thing that's on the inside of me. And then there's you have to be it's called reflex of ability. It means, along with the self-awareness, it means the process of holding someone accountable requires us to examine our own values, our beliefs, and our ethics. Oftentimes we must do the hard work of unlearning harmful behavior. And what happens is we got to unlearn some stuff, because we've gotten so lazy, lackadaisical, telling ourselves what we cannot do. So we have to unlearn stuff. I had to unlearn how not to just sit around and just, I spend my day like, oh, what I'm gonna do today? And I look up. I'm on social media, which is fine because I do that sometimes, but don't allow that to consume you. And then you look up 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours gone, and then you haven't done anything. And so you have to unlearn stuff. I had to unlearn how to really be focused. I had to, because I wasn't focused. I had to unlearn how I viewed my day and my time, because we talked about time before. Time, it'll get away from you. Time is only borrowed. So once that particular time is gone, you can't get it back. So I'm learning how to utilize my time with my husband. His time is early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe 4 to 8 or 4. That's his time. But my time, that I like to sleep. My time is like maybe like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Then I'm ready to hit the ground. I love it. And then sometime in the evening times, I'll do a little something. So that's my time. So I had to learn how to carve out some time. And if you're gonna do what you need to do, you're gonna have to learn how to carve out some time. You're gonna have to, I know we all have busy schedule. A lot of people work. We may have children, or whatever the case may be. But we have to learn how to carve out some time. And then also we have to listen. We have to listen to our dreams. We have to listen to our visions, because what happens sometimes, we'll look at it, but we don't listen. And what I mean by listening is that we become more attentive to what God has given us, and we're trying to make sure we hear God, and make sure it's lining up with what we're supposed to do. So we have to listen, and then not only listen to that inner man and listen to God, but also your accountability partner, or whatever way whoever speaks into your life. Because sometimes when you have a dream or vision, no, we don't want nobody just come and change our vision or change our dream. Why you doing it this way? Why you doing it that way? But what happens is, because some people may know a little more when it comes to computer and other things and putting stuff together. And see, that's one of the things I learned. I didn't know how to do. I mean, I can cut a computer on, but I didn't know how much was out here in computer land, as I call it. I didn't know all the things I could do, all the free stuff I could do. And then even the stuff you pay for. Some of the stuff does not cost a lot. But if you don't have anybody to show you, or if you don't go out yourself and begin to search things out, then you just got a dream and it's just there. And so that's why it's so important to have the accountability. And I looked in scripture, and I found a couple of scripture, at least three, that talks about being accountable. Romans 14 and 12 says, so then teach us for so they I'm sorry, so then teach of us will give an account of himself to God. So what it's saying, so when you get told, somebody's teaching you, then you're going to give an account to God. Maybe that person that's trying to help you may not be there to try to destroy you. Maybe God sent them to help you. Because with me, I went on Wix, I think it's wix.com, right? So I'm gonna go in there and do my website. I think all I did was get to the first page. I didn't know what I was doing. And they made it look like it was so easy, But then God had to send somebody, to teach me and to show me, which I still can't do website, but to show me what I need to do, and I will give account to God because I was obedient. Every time somebody help you, everybody ain't trying to destroy you. That's why we try to have discernment. Of course, we don't want to give our vision and dreams away. Heck no. But sometimes, just sometimes, God will send somebody and say, listen, I know you can't do that. I'm going to send this person or bless you, because websites cost hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. I looked it up because I called myself and get somebody say, oh, I know. I don't get someone have a website because I didn't, I really didn't have the money. So of course, God bless me to have someone to be able to do it for me. And so that's a blessing. But what if I had not been open to somebody helping me? Of course, I was real open because I didn't know how to do nothing pretty much anyway. But still, I was teachable. And so never get to the point you're not teachable. I know it's your dream. I know it's your vision. I know it's your baby, but somebody can tell you something. So never get to the point that you can never listen to people. Listen, even if you don't do it, you'll be surprised at what other people know. I've just had casual conversation with people like, oh, you do that? What? I didn't know that. And so, a guy can get information. James 5:16 says this, therefore, confess your sins to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person has a great power as it is in working. So sometimes we need somebody to intercede for and pray for us. This, regardless of what you've been called to do, there will be times that it's going to be difficult. I don't know how many times in the last few years and the stuff I've done, I was like, I don't know how many times I say, you know what, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I've been called to do this. This seems to be more than I can handle. I don't know if I'm going to make this. Make it. I mean, so many times I just want to throw in the towel. So that's it. But no. I had to talk with someone. I had to say, you know what? I almost throw it. I told Anita, I almost gave up. One time when we first started, it was 4 of us. I did quit. I quit for a minute, but I came back. Oh, I quit. But 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. So we have to learn, ladies and gents, how to encourage each other and build each other up. You may look at their dreams. You may think it's nonsense. You may think they'll never make it. Like, who told them? But encourage people, because you don't know what's on the inside. That passion. You don't know. It may look to you like it's nonsense. It may look to you like they'll never overcome it. It may look to you, that they're not gonna be able to build that organization. Oh, the devil is lying. That is not true. So you have to continue to lift one another up, build each other up. One of the worst things that we do, we can really tear people down. Oh my gosh. We really can. So we have to learn, instead of tearing those bricks down, begin to add to those bricks. If you know somebody that can help them, and that's what we do with the movement. We help as many people as we can. We try to help people because we understand the importance of people being able to do the things that they're supposed to do. And some of us will never just walk into our destiny. Some of us will have to be encouraged. Some of us need to be nudged. Some of us need to be pushed. Whatever the case may be. So that's so important. And finally, my last scripture is Proverbs 27:17. Eye sharpens eye, and one man sharpens another. So we must learn how to help people. And even when I come on, some of my information may be limited, but don't mean that I'm limited with information. Because if I don't know the need of a person, then I don't know how I could be of service. And we have a responsibility to be of service. Whatever gift we have, you know, that gift that you have, it may get to where it make a lot of money, whatever it is. But we must help people. So when I come on Tuesdays, when we come on Wednesdays, we come on Fridays, Saturday, and Sunday, every platform, every platform is about building people up, regardless of the name of the platform. Even Anita had a platform, Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well. So that's building people up. It's building their bodies. It's fortifying them. It's getting them prepared, helping them to live longer, teaching them what they should or should not put in their bodies, teaching them the right food from the wrong food, that kind of stuff. You shouldn't eat the flour and this. And this turns, if you eat rice, it turns to sugar, all kinds of information that we need to know. How can I can eat vegetables and they taste good? I don't have to have all that gravy. So there's so many organizations that we have, but every one of them, when we do on Friday night, it's about praying. We do Saturday praying through the pandemic. We Sunday, somebody's bringing the word. So everything we do is tied in to help people, to elevate people, to help people to get to the next level in their lives. And I told God, when I overcame my years of depression and other stuff, I said, I got to figure out, how can I help? How can I help people? Now, I don't have a degree in psychology. I'm not a psychiatrist. Or I have some degrees, but I don't have in those areas. But because God have allowed me to walk through this thing and come out on the other side of it, then I have life experience. And so many times when I see, it's been several people in the last month or so that committed suicide. So God blessed me to come on the other side of that. But it wasn't that I wasn't there. It was just a different plan for my life. So when I see it happen, there's a certain empathy and sympathy that I possess, because it's more than, oh, that's so sad. Oh, what made them do that? Well, unless you walk through that, you really don't understand the dynamics of that. It's a sense of hopelessness. You could have people all around you. You could be in a church, you could be in a big room, you could be in a grocery store, and you still feel all alone. And so when you start losing hope, you're in trouble. If you can't seem to find your way back to that thing that you hold dear, that hope, then, and that's what happens. And people lose hope and they don't see no way out. That it don't matter they have family and friends. It gets in your mind, it gets in your spirit, man, that you can't make it. And then the enemy wins. And so I've been there. I really have. I've been there taking the pills. I've been there cutting the wrist. I've been there. But God knew for me way down the line that was not how I was going to go out. And so I do sympathize in that. When I read certain things where people say, I cringe, because if you've never been in no people's shoes, listen, I wear 8.5. If I put on Leonard's shoes, he's 13 or 14. If I wear his shoes, they're going to flap up and down my feet. In other words, I'm going to trip and fall because I ain't got no business walking in his shoes. So if you've never walked in those shoes, a lot of times you probably really need to hush up because you really don't know. And so when I've read certain things, it grieves my heart, because that's a place of loneliness. And what the enemy does, he gets you in a place of loneliness and tell you nobody cares, and tell you that you're not going to make it, and tell you it's over for you. Even though there's people that love you and the people who will, encourage you, but that's not the way the enemy does. And so I've been there. But I really said all of that really to say this. I just want you to be encouraged, regardless of where you are in life. If you ever get to the point that you feel hopeless, a sense of hopelessness, pick up that doggone phone and call me, call somebody. Call somebody. If nothing else, somebody can listen to you and maybe they have the right words for you. That's that accountability, that what I wanted to talk about, being accountable, not just to yourself, because you have so much to offer. I remember thinking years ago when I was at the worst place in my life, and I said, I wonder if I died of the night, would somebody miss me? Would somebody care? Because I really didn't think nobody cared. I really didn't. But somewhere in the depths of my soul, God said, "Not you." And I pulled through it. But it was a long journey, a long dark. It's like walking down a long dark hallway, and you could see a light. It's flickering, but you can't seem to get to it because the enemy knows if she can get to that light, if he can get to that light, then that's what that hope is. And I would thank God I was able to find help. But being accountable to one another, being accountable to yourself. Look at that mirror, talk to that person in that mirror. Stop picking at yourself. I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, well, all that, then work on that. If it bothers you that much, work on it. But begin to work on those things that God have called you to do, that vision, that whatever that thing is, that passion, that desire, that thing that's on that inner man, that things that bubbles up. Because even so, I was laying down today and I say, girl, if you don't get up and go on that computer, and I went and I finished some things. I was working on some things. I was determined because when it comes to certain things, like especially like if I'm doing logos, I think I like doing logos. I say I don't like it. I think I do, and I'm gonna keep going until I get that thing right. I really am. Like, wait a minute now. I kept that emailing, man. Listen, you got to send me this. Guess that man, I'm so sick of her. Listen, that's important. That's important. And what I do is important. When I come on here is important. When I'm talking, it's important to me because most of y'all, now a lot of times people come on, I may not know who they are, but some people I do, and it don't matter whether I know you or not. I do know that you have something on the inside that you need to really start working on and walking your way through it. For so long, I've had gifts forever. I had an organization so long ago. No, I can tell you just how long. I used to go to Bunnell when I was married to my ex. And that's been 20 years ago. And I would go up there and I had a group. It's called Girls Inspired for Total Success. Inside every a woman's a little girl. Inside every little girl, one will emerge. So I would go up there and I have these group of girls, and they would come out. They would come out. And so some things happened, and it threw me for a loop. And I said, that's it. I'm not gonna do it. And for a long time, I didn't do it. But I started that organization 20 years ago. And so now it's just really coming to fruition after all this time. And I literally put it on. I thought myself, child, please, I ain't gonna do that. Because you know what? I failed before. And that's what life will tell you. Life will tell you you're a failure. It'll tell you you'll never make it. They say, look, girl, sit down because you didn't do it then. They ain't got nothing to do with now. I can't change yesterday. I can't even change 1 minute ago. But I can sure do the best I can going forward to make sure that I get to the point that I'm able to do some of the things that God have called me to do, and some of the things He's called me to say. I just believe that there's power in words. If nobody ever tell you, some of us will never know. If nobody ever tell you you're overcomer, some of us never know. If nobody will tell you you can make it, some of us will never know. You know why? Because we've already told ourselves that we'll never overcome. We're nothing, and we're nobody. And a lot of times, y'all, we base that on what somebody else done to us or said to us. Because I've done it, and I'm telling you from experience. I put everything on hold because somebody told me that I couldn't, that I never would be, that I'll never amount to anything, that I'll always be who I am. And, I've been told that I'll never, I'm just going to, just exist. And the person who told me that has long since died. But I carried that thing on the inside for so long because I don't even know why that person's what they said about me mattered. I don't know. I think at that time in my life, that was a tough time, so I didn't need to hear that at that time. That just it really resonated with with who I was and where I was at that time, and I believe that. and I carried that for years. So, just know, I'm almost finished, y'all. Just know that we have to learn to be accountable, um, to ourselves, to others, be prayerful, start doing your research, whatever you've been called to do. Some people already started. I was like, I know for Sharon, I know she's already started. Pastor Wyndham, I know she's already started. Leonard's already started. So many people already started. But what happens sometimes when we get started, we'll have those moments that we'll become stagnated. But don't give up. When that happens, just go through that period of stagnation. What is that? How do you pronounce it? Go through that period, and then you're telling yourself, "I'm not giving up. I'm right here now." But I'm gonna shake this off, but I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep persevering, and I'm gonna completely believe that I can do what I think I've been called to do, and that's what's so important. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I want to encourage you, because I'm looking forward to the day I see Sharon catering business. Maybe God will bless her, but she'll open up a catering business, and she don't have to even do that much work. She'll have teams to go out to do her work. It ain't necessarily just because you've been called to do something. With Shatana, she want to help with the elderly, clean the house. She may start off doing it. She may end up with a team to go out, and do those things, because it has to be someone who starts something. And just because it's your baby, with the movement, we're gonna still be part of the movement, but maybe we'll end up with somebody coming in and to help Anita, especially help her with some of the technical parts, and the secretarial part. I don't know what you call it, but secretarial parts, where they go in and make sure certain things are done in the background. So just because it's me and her, don't mean that somebody won't come along later and be a help. So don't pigeonhole yourself, and don't look at your organization. Anita told me to stop doing this, and I don't do it. This little old no, ain't nothing little old about when God told you to do something. It may not start small, and you plant a seed that starts small, but that don't mean you won't have growth. So I wanted to say that to encourage you, that even though you do have these visions and dreams, don't limit it to, oh, well, I'm just going to do this. Well, yeah, no, God may be using you to start the corporation. And then who knows, that organization was Shatana talking about, that may blow up across Flagler County, hit Volusia County. You don't know. If you talk to people who started businesses, some of them started one little business, and after a while it spreads. So the problem is that we limit our thinking. We limit what we think our possibilities are. We limit what God can do, and we even limit how we think. We think that we reach our plateau, we can't go any higher. The devil is a liar. If we begin to open our minds up, you'll be surprised. So stop thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in there, Shatana, I'm gonna go in there, just clean that person's house. That's wonderful. You start, but then maybe you could get somebody else to come say, hey, I started something. Hey, could you come? Let's do this. And maybe before you look, what happened, you done got 3 or 4 ladies who's willing to come aboard and do it. I know it's a process, and things don't happen overnight, but some things do. People can go to bed broke and wake up wealthy. It's been proven too many times. So just don't limit. Start thinking bigger than what you see. We think we as a people, we think uh what we see. We don't think what can be. We just think what we see. So when we think what we see, then we limit ourselves. So you have to think bigger. Like when she want to full-time pastor. That's feasible. She could do that. She can, who's to say? She can have an organization where people can come in there and come in there. They may need help with the shelter. They may need some type of help where they need some mental issues. They have mental issues, and she may not have what she needs to help her, but Shatandra, she's going to be working in that area. You see what I'm saying? So all this stuff go hand in hand. So somebody else may be looking for someone to cater. So we having this event, It's major. So here's Sharon, her organization. She don't have to go out and do that work. She already got a team of people, and she makes sure she oversee it. See, that's how that things work. That work, and then that stuff's got going hand in hand. When you look up, all of us will have organizations and all kinds of stuff. Because if the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the saints, how you think you're gonna get it? You think the wicked gonna knock on your door and give it to you? No. We got to go out there and make this thing happen, y'all. And there's an accountability that you have. You got to be accountable to what you've been called to do, and start dreaming big. Stop thinking limit. You don't limit God. He's a limitless God. It, he's limitless. So if you start thinking different, I think that's one of the biggest things I had to change in my life. No, I'm not there yet, but my thinking and my vision and my insight is like whoosh. I already see some stuff. I see, because I know the possibilities are there. And so I don't limit what I can do. I don't limit what God can do. I don't limit uh what I think about. Here's okay. Shatana say amen. No limit. That's right, Shatana. When it say yes, I'll have a complex center with many businesses with it. And that's right. That's right. You'll be like a one-shop stop. People coming in there, and you can, like, not only like, clothes. Listen, we had a yard sale. I was with this church. We had so many clothes, and we wouldn't. It would actually, I take that back. When the yard sale, we were giving the clothes away, and I saw a couple of things I wanted to take home, but I had already cleaned out my closet. It didn't make sense. But the stuff she had that day was mind-boggling, and we're just giving it away free, you know. And so these are the things. And that's blessing the community. That's blessing community. What they do, they go into the community. They give away food. They have fish and hot dogs, and so what happens is you're not buying people, but people see love. People see, and see, like, again, we're so quick to talk about communities, and there's community and they don't do nothing there, and they don't do, but what are you doing? Are you doing something to make a difference in the community? And stop slamming our communities if we're not out there working and doing some things. Maybe you haven't been called to do that, but for those of us who's been called, we got to learn how to work hand in hand, and that's so important. And so that's what I wanted to share tonight. To be accountable, that's so important. Sharon said prophetic vision, yes, ma'am. And yeah, outreach, that is so important. I look at so many buildings, not that far from me, like a little mall and stuff. I say, man, I know things take money, but you don't know. You don't know. So many people have been blessed. Just in the most unusual places where people just bless them. God told me to do this, and God told me, that's amazing to me. And so I don't limit God. My mind, I think over time, I be thinking like, ooh, we're gonna do, even with the move. I love the movement. Of course, me and Anita have our own individual ministries, but then we have movement. But that organization is Movement Worldwide. So the reason it has that name, see, because it's prophetic, movement worldwide. Yeah, we may be local, but when you read that, when you see that world, that logo, you don't have to go any further. That means that we're going to reach all part of the world. That's the goal. Okay, yeah, COVID is here, but COVID's not going to stay. We're not going to be locked down forever. And we're just not. So we're worldwide, and that's a vision. So a lot of us needs to broaden our vision. You may not be worldwide, but you're citywide. Okay, you may be statewide, you may be countrywide, but whatever, don't limit your vision. You have to learn how to be accountable. And so that's it for me tonight. I just wanted to share that tonight, that the accountability, the importance of being who you've been called to be, stepping out, uh, you know, uh, not being so lackadaisical about your calling, your vision, the things that you've been called to. That's why I asked when I first started for people to write their vision, because I kind of wanted to see what some of you guys where you were. And it was some amazing stuff here, amazing, that I seen some stuff I ain't even thought about it. Especially with return. I said, wow, that's right. That's a part of our communities. A lot of time get left out because, like I said earlier, every elderly person is not in the nursing home. They're not. Some of them need their grass cut. So many things. And of course, I mean, we understand that there are always going to be people who do the wrong things. But if most of us try to do the right thing, we can make a difference in our community, in our country, our state, our city, whatever. If you just in your community, change that community. Because when you help change that community, those people in that community can go. If it's 100, 200, 300 people in that community, and you're able to go in and you're able to do some things to change that community, that means those 300 people can go out and branch out, and maybe they'll go to a community. And so, it keeps going and growing. It's paying it forward. And you look up, that same community, they say, oh, these kids and this, that. No, no, you don't know what kids can do if you don't talk to them. You don't know what adults would do if you don't talk to adults. Are like kids in a sense. They are visions and dreams too. We just don't talk about it because a lot of us don't think we can do it, and we think we're doing the best we can. But the devil is a liar. I'm coming on next Tuesday and tell you again, you can do it. So I want to thank y'all so much. You've been so wonderful. Thank you. When you come next week, if you would bring somebody, I got to get on some people. Some people. I got three people. I'm gonna get them, but that they're not coming on. But I'm so blessed to have you. Um, Tomorrow night, if you will, come on with the movement. We'll be on the same platforms. We start at 7 o'clock, so it is phenomenal. So that is on. I'll never do no rundown because I don't. But on Wednesday, you'll get all the rundown, and it's pretty cool the way we do it. I love that platform. It's pretty cool. So I would love y'all to come and share. So I want to do a quick prayer, and that's going to be it for me tonight. Okay, let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, God, as we come before your throne of grace, God, we're thanking you tonight. God, we pray that something was said or done to lift up your name and to give you the glory. God, I pray that you open the ears in the hearts of your people. Let them know that the sky is the limit and some, that whatever they need, they can find it in you. God, I pray that you motivate them, give them that drive and that push to begin to walk in those things they've been called to walk in. And so we want to thank you tonight. God, I pray for the bereaved families, Lord God, even in my community and so many other communities, people struggle. I pray for those who may be sick in their bodies. I pray for healing and deliverance on tonight. God, we love you. God, we thank you and we give you all the praise and glory. For this is our prayer tonight. And so, y'all, that's it for me tonight. I'll be back next. Actually, I'll be on tomorrow, but with TNT Tuesday Night Talk, I'll be back next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, and I'm sure I have something to say. So, thank you so much. Be blessed. Good night, everybody.